It was very difficult. It was, we had a very small office, maybe 100th the size of this roof. Kareem, who likes to be a wise ass and ask questions, okay, was one of the first people who came and knocked on our door. He's the founder and CEO of Cinemoz. We started very small, and we felt that if we show people that things can be done differently, they might join us. A year down the line, we opened up our office in this building with the help of the triple Fs, friends, family, and fools. And we effectively convinced a few people to join us. And I'm gonna name a few, and they're gonna join me on stage. And then we're gonna announce a few things, and then we'll tell you all to join the party over there. People are so drunk over there, you have no idea. Okay? So first, let me bring on the stage Maroon Najm, who is... Maroon's the guy who effectively helped me drill the whiteboards into the first Sequence office 2 years ago. So without him, we would have no whiteboards. It's as simple as that, okay? Maroon is also the CTO of Cinemoz, and he's never wrong, okay, which is good, but he never misses on an opportunity to learn from the things he's not wrong about, which is always good, okay? Next up is Fadi Bizri. Fadi is Sequence's pretty boy. He's on TV, he's in the magazines, he's mentioned in The Economist, even though he wasn't the one who was interviewed. I mean, there's something about Fadi that is just right, okay? That's why we love him so much. And he joined us also 2 years ago with his first startup, and he has taken part in many different endeavors, and now he's one of the leading directors at Sequence. Then we have Michel Maushi. Michel is a lawyer, and he came to us and said, "I'm a lawyer, but I don't want to be a lawyer. So do you guys think I can be part of this?" And I'm like, "Do you know technology?" He's like, "You should see the latest MacBook Air. I just bought it. It's amazing." And it turns out he's actually the best product tester, product user, consumer that you could possibly find. He knows everything inside out. He's a bit fascist when it comes to Mac and Apple-related stuff. Like many others, but that can be beneficial on some levels. And then we have Makram Raidan. Who, by the way, without Makram, nothing, okay, gets put in order. Okay. Makram basically spent the past 12 weeks using his lungs as a megaphone, yes. Kept all of the 436 applicants in order in a manner that was both very, very nice and very powerful. I don't know how he does it. He balances them out. Usually when I shout, I'm not a nice guy. When he shouts, people listen. Okay? So that's a very good thing, and for us, it's apart from the fact that he's the best hacker on the planet and he can basically do a lot. Okay, it's very impressive that we have him on board. Yeah, we are the 5 Sequence directors, and it is us 5 that made this happen, that created this program. No person supersedes the other. We work together as equals, and we produce something together collectively. And this is something that is very rare in this country and in this region. I may have started this 2 years ago, but we are all equally in this, and that's what matters the most. Okay? Now, I'm gonna bring a few other people on board, but the announcement is still coming, so please stay with us, okay? I want to bring on the stage Danny Abu Jawdi. So Danny is useful for 2 things, okay? The first one, all of the pretty ladies at this event are Danny's friends, okay? So that's a good thing. Okay? And second, Danny put together this entire rooftop. Okay, guys, you have no idea. This rooftop has been out of order for 25 years. It has been bombed and left for, completely unusable. He turned it into what it is today in 2 weeks with, let's say, a pretty tight budget, okay? Because we're not going to get into the details of the budget. Danny is our newest recruit, and hopefully he will be one of the most formidable. He will be leading one of the announcements that we're going to be making. Okay. Then we have the most famous sequencier, Lara Zo. So the funny thing about Lara is she always complains, but she never manages to leave sequence. Okay? It's like, why are you making me do all this work? And then we look at her, we're like, why are you still here? I don't know. So Lara spends 20 hours a day at Sequence, okay? And I believe that's one of the things that really struck me as exceptional in the past few months. We have all been putting 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, including the applicants, by the way. And every time I come in, I'm like, okay, so I founded this 2 years ago. Maybe I feel some ownership in this. But why are they here? Why are they putting 20 hours? And this question makes me believe that in reality what we're building is more than just a company with founders and partners and directors and so on, but a community that at the right time we will all collectively own and hopefully take it into this mega empire that we can all, retire early on. Okay? Then I want to invite Rida Ayad. Okay. Rida does everything, but also manages not to do anything. So he's the guy who literally does everything, okay? But if you ask him to do something, he's like, "Khalas, okay?" So I don't know how he does it, but he manages to pull it off. He's the first guy at Sequence every morning at 7:30 in the morning. None of us wake up at 7:30. Okay? You're there because you didn't sleep. Marwan doesn't sleep, but that's another story. So he's the first guy at Sequence, and he clocks in so many hours that I honestly don't know what drives him. So seriously, thank you, Rida. And I want to invite someone special onto this stage because she helped us in interviewing 436 applicants. It's not easy interviewing 436 applicants from 30 countries in 4 weeks, 60% of which were in person and 40% of which were over Skype. We had people from Japan who didn't speak English. Okay, so it was pretty interesting. And one person who made it possible, surviving that experience, was our dear friend Raya Farhat. Okay. She's also the one who's usually best dressed, okay, which is very good. Okay. This team made what this program is today. And this team, I can assure you, has benefited only in energy and glory. We are all broke beyond your wildest imagination. Okay? I've been eating tuna for 2 weeks. Okay? But this isn't the announcement. I brought all of them on board because I want them to be part of this, because we collectively announce things. First of all, I want you to all know one very, very important thing. Everyone comes and asks us, why are you different? Or how are you different from everyone out there? There are so many other accelerators and incubators and institutions that support entrepreneurship in Lebanon and the region. And I've been thinking about that question, and honestly, it's not an easy question to answer because you always sound like you're defending yourself. But here's a good answer, okay? The best way to understand how we're different is by looking at how we make money. We make money, others make money off of the startups. As in, others make money on incubation, on rent, on services, etc. We make money on the success of the startups, which means that if they succeed, we succeed. If they fail, we're going to continue eating tuna until we have mercury poisoning. So that changes the way and the approach from everyone else, because we effectively are in it hand in hand with the 30 people who are standing behind you trying to understand why I called them up. Okay? we are in it hand in hand. We will succeed with them hand in hand, or we will fail with them hand in hand. And I think that's what differentiates us. Now, for all the investors in the audience and those who are via live streaming, which I think we're streaming to the world, there are investors who are tuned in. Tonight we are going to be investing in startups. We are going to be investing, and this is an announcement, okay, in 8 startups. Now, many of the guys who in the back have been waiting for this because they want to get drunk, but that's another thing. Many of you may be wondering, what does it mean invest in startups? Each one of the 8 startups who came onto the stage has been vetted by the Sequence team through 8 weeks of hell. Like, if you think you know hell, ask them for a few stories and they'll tell you what hell is. We had a few teams over the past few days who were here at 3 a.m. and I told them, no, you cannot go home until you do X, Y, Z. And they're, they've been here for 24 hours and they're like, really? And no, you can't. This is your responsibility. And the minute you realize how significant it is, the minute you start reinforcing it on yourself. So these guys came and stayed with us for 8 weeks. We started with 436 applicants. We then selected 150 of them. With these 150 then formed teams. The teams then were dwindled from 34 teams to 19 teams or 20 teams. Then these 20 teams were challenged over and over, including a 48-hour non-stop attempt at building something, which you saw. All of the presentations were built in 48 hours, including the demos, the prototypes, and so on. They were tested for their capacity